Good evening. It's just before 7, and I like to come on a little before 7 because sometimes it takes longer to get to be actually live. So I always want to make sure that I am live at 7. But usually it's right on 6:59. I press the go live button. Tonight is mental mind treatments. And just to remember is that they are a different kind of prayer. It is my way of praying using my psychic abilities along with a technique that I learned many, many years ago. So if you have a concern, a worry, a problem, or you just want to have clarity on something, then check into this live chat with your first name and age and what you would like a mental mind treatment for. And I will connect with the universal love source, utilize my psychic abilities for your own special mental mind treatment. It helps with all different situations, anxieties, fears, resolutions of issues. In other words, a way for transforming your subconscious mind. So you become aware of universal possibilities available to you. What's the word I want to say? I just have had so many compliments and comments and emails regarding the treatments. People who haven't been on live but have re-listened and how it has helped clarify for them. And consequently, it's heartens me actually, and to see how many views that the mental mind treatments are getting in relation to my other two shows, the Norma talks on Wednesdays, the longer talk, and then on Sundays, a Sunday thought. I certainly appreciate it all the way through. And I like to say, if you can't be here in person, then you can email me or text me, preferably by 6 p.m., so that I've got time to kind of put things together and to be able to move forward in the direction that I'm wanting to go. I do want to say, for those that listen to my Sunday thought, when I was sort of talking about fear and death, that it's at the back of my mind to actually expand on that on Wednesday. So if you're interested in death and dying and fear and what to expect and what not to expect from what I have found out in my experience, then you might want to tune in on Wednesdays. It's usually up on my site by 11, usually. We've usually got it there by 11. I'm not live on that one, and we record and then I put it on up. Other than that, Sunday Thought and this one here, we do live. And so I'm going to start off with, first of all, with what I have been, and I have my friend Kayla actually says, hi, back from a swim in the ocean and blessings and love. And she did contact me earlier because I've known Kayla for a lot of years. And in fact, the treatments that I do, we learned at a similar time in a similar way, which were called at that time spiritual mind treatments. And of course, I've changed that to mental mind treatments because I sort of go off and sometimes into my own world in some ways. And Kayla had called me to say that she's been having some headaches. Now, I do know that she has cluster headaches. And if anybody has seen those in actions, that isn't the easiest thing to have. So what I want to say, well, just to open up is to begin, is to my first connection tonight is in for, and I'm going to speak my word for Kayla. As I speak my word for Kayla into the universal love force, and in relation to headaches or about them leaving, going, dissipating, anything that comes through in a sense of being, it's about, underneath all this is allowingness and an acceptance of journey, a journey, that you're taking a journey. And the journey sometimes gets like old journeys. They've got, I'm showing a rocky road. I'm showing these rocks in the middle of the roadway. And how do we get around those rocks? How do we sort the rocks? What do we do with the rocks? How do we place the rocks? All of these things. what I see here is long stretches of the road, tar-sealed road, no rocks at all. And then all of a sudden, there are little rocks, some of them only very briefly, and some for longer times and bigger. It just seems to be that the road, it's almost like I want to say, let the road be smooth and allow and through just accept the flow of the easy road. The easy road. It does not have to be hard. It can be easy. And allowing any rocks to just run off to the side and it's like let them be themselves out to the side of the roadway. So the roadway ran smooth. In doing that, it's as though the core of the headache seems to dissipate. It has nothing to respond to or to react to. Now I know that within my heart and within my love is that smoothness, that flow of life, that trusting. It has to do with trust and faith in the process. Trust and faith in the process of life, that you will end up at the end result that you achieve and that you want to, and to bring it into form, into beingness. I give thanks in knowing that the roadway is smooth. I give thanks in knowing that you don't get caught up in the rocks, but rather stay on that part. Even if a part of the pathway is smooth, that you can, it's like being on a bicycle. Actually, that's what I'm seeing as a bicycle now. It's like biking beyond that. So you don't get caught up in these rocks. Some of them small, some of them very short times, some of them much longer times. As we do that, the roadway becomes clearer and easier and much more. And in the knowing of this, I say thank you, thank you, thank you, knowing that the roadway can be smooth and can be negotiated through, so we don't have to be in the rocks. And I say thank you as I release this thought, knowing that it is done. And a big breath on that one. Thank you. Okay, you might see me peering a little bit because I bored out something where I can read easier. You can see it. It's my little, but most of it I can see, but sometimes I really have to stress to see what the printing. I just would like it to be a little bigger. Okay, Miss Karen, how nice. Welcome back. Welcome back. She says, greeting Normas. An date. You treated for me to be more active. I have been moving more. Well, bless your heart. And then she adds, I would love a treatment for feeling more excited about life. I have been down about the world, and I would love to feel optimistic again. Thanks again. You know, it's funny because on Sunday I kind of addressed this a little bit, as that people have lost faith. I think people have lost faith in life, and this is just a comment. I haven't got into what you're wanting here. It's like the fear that was perpetrated, can I say that word, in the last few years infiltrated so much, and that people became fearful of each other, fearful of different viewpoints, fearful of just about everything. And it's particularly, as I talked about on Sunday, fear of dying. And I think, and it's all this, and it didn't make sense to me at the time because I had studied death and dying, and I kept saying, why are people so concerned about if it's your time, it's your time, you know? Anyway, besides that, so optimism. So as I move into the treatment form, and as I begin to connect into the loving force, and I speak my word for Karen, when I look ahead, it's like there's a sheet. It's like a sheet of rain. It's a sheet. It's almost like ice, actually. I was thinking about the roadway would be ice, but this is like a sheet of ice. It's like not being able to see that which you want to see. So to me, you might call it optimism. I would call it trust and faith, because that's what I find very often is lacking, that people do not have trust and faith anymore, and not only in themselves, but in life, that life gives them what they want. Of course, I've given lots of thoughts on this in my Wednesday talks on how to create, but it's like here, it's about when we talk about being optimistic is joy. So what is it that you want to be joyous about? See, universe will give you what you want, but if you can't think of anything that you would like to be joyous about, how it doesn't know what to give you. It doesn't know what to bring to you in your environment. And what I see when I look at this sheet of ice in front of me, and that seems to, as I'm looking along, it seems to stay out about, I would say almost 6 feet. I don't really want to put it right on 6 feet, but it's sort of close to 6 feet out. So in other words, you cannot see very far ahead optimistically. There's no faith that anything is going to change. It's going to be more of the same, more of the same. And when I think of more of the same, it's like my whole diaphragm going, oh, I'm going to go down. Oh, this is so hard. Why am I here? I don't want to be here. When is this going to shift and change? And I'll tell you when it's going to shift and change is when you change your thinking. When you begin to realize that there is a power in this world that is there for you, as it is with everybody, but I'm going to say we're talking to you, Karen, that there's a power. And if you don't know what it is that you want, ask for clarity. You can start off there. Show me, bring to me what I need right now to be optimistic, where I can have faith and love, and I can have excitement, and I can have an awareness of the direction that I'm going in. Ask. If you don't ask and you just think, oh, it's all so, not exciting, not fun, and I don't know where I'm going, I understand you won't be optimistic. Because the thought form out there is for you not to be optimistic. The thought form that's out there that seems to be permeating everything is that we do not know what's happening or what's going on. So I want you to be very, very aware that you have tremendous potential in changing your environment. Maybe nothing changes in the environment, but you change how you respond to the environment, how you respond to the directions of what you want. So I'm going to put a little bit of homework here. I want you to make a list of 3 things that you would like to do in your life or that you would like to experience in your life. Just 3 things. And if you have to really grope for 3 things, like, oh, I don't know what I want, well, then that means you really got to think about it. Because the universe likes to have a full plate to work with, to be honest. But 3, that's good. And then think about how nice it would be if those 3 things came. Very often I do prayers here for people who want a result that they're not sure how they're going to get it. And that often happens. We don't always know how it's going to happen. We don't always know where it's going to show up. Where is it going to show up? How is it going to be? We want to know. We don't have to know. We just have to know that it will be. Boy, I banged my hand and my table knocks out. The light went, boom. It will be. You've got to know that. So you have optimism. You can be optimistic. I just think you need faith and trust that you will be shown. You will know the direction that you're heading in and the way you want to go and where you want to go with it. So I'm going to go into this by giving thanks. I'm coming with gratitude that the ice shield that I see here totally dissolves and shows a pathway of delight, of joy, of happiness, of well-being, as everything begins to fall into place, and that your desires, those deep down desires that maybe you didn't even want to admit to yourself, come forth, and the universe begins to deliver. And as the universe begins to deliver, which it is already beginning, you begin to believe, you begin to have faith and trust, and you begin to be optimistic about how your life can be. And all that negativity and all that uncertainty just begins to dissipate. I know that there's one power. I know that essence is there, and I know that you're powerful. I know that you can be optimistic about your dreams, your goals, your desires, but you need to let the universe know that's what you want. Never mind ice, never mind walls of not it happening, never mind depressions or whatever else comes with that. Just the knowingness it will be. And I give thanks and knowing for you that it will be. I give thanks for that. And I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is to the beautiful energy field of which there is. And I thanks for that. Kayla has also said, thank you. I love the imagery and the feeling of the smooth and trusting path and journey. As always, amazing insights. Much love. Flies to me. Thank you. Thank you. She says to you, but that's to me, which is kind of nice. I'm going to go one more to my list, and then I'm going to come back to Catherine, which I'm happy to see there. Yes, I just read your message from before. Okay, this one is for Miss M regarding, and we've had this, I've been doing this weekly because, and there's an excitement inside when I do this because as I move into the knowingness, we're waiting for this house to arrive. We're waiting for it to be in fullness. And it feels so exciting. So I give thanks and knowing that the house is arriving so much as like arrived, it's here, and that there's such an enjoyment and such a feeling of celebration and excitement. And I give thanks and knowing that dreams, that desires, that wishes of a specific goal can arrive even though we don't know how. We just know it will be there. And in the waiting, we just let it all go and celebrate the arrival. And it brings pleasure. It brings delight. It brings an awareness of all things. And for that knowingness, I truly, truly say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Karen also has said that my treatment was very helpful. I felt so blocked for several years, so accurate. Thanks again. I will ask and I will do my homework. I'm really big on homework. A lot of people think, okay, we just have to do this once and that's it. Not always. We're creatures of habit. But that's another story. Now I'm going to go back to Catherine and then I'm coming back to my list here. Catherine says, thank you, Norma. And I'd love to release any beliefs or energy blocking the flow of financial abundance in my business and personal life with much gratitude. Okay. I'm just going to make a little note here for me because so it's financial rewards. Okay, so what I'm really going to concentrate on is the financial rewards from every aspect of your life as it comes, whether it's personal, business, unexpected, etc. No. I know there's one power and one essence in this universe. And I know in that connection of the one mind, I can speak my word for Catherine. As I speak my word for Catherine, I know that limitations have been totally released and let go. These limitations occur on many different levels of the life, and in particular, at this point of time, the financial limitations. And with the letting go of that is the belief of non-deserving or being unworthy, or that other people deserve it more. Although that's all mixed up in a little bowl of whatevers. So I'm just going to ask that this whole triad of thought patterning gets totally dissolved from your subconscious. It's like burying deep, as many lifetimes have gone to creating this thought pattern that other people need it more than you, that other people deserve it more than you. And also the thought is, who do I think I am? And even asking. And so we want this totally non-deservability element of yourself totally to be let go of, and a willingness on your part to let go of it so that you can embrace the well-being on every level, including the financial level, to come into the life and to fill it up. And what I see is like bunches of all sorts of colored flowers just flowering all over the place. And so we're having financial success, we're having personal success, we're having an element of it's like cheering into the new vibration where everything. So not only do I have just a bundle of flower, and believe me, they're just a rainbow of colors, that it's like the yard, the town, the province, because I know you live in Canada, the province, everything is all, it's just magnificent. We might as well include the world. It's just full of these what would you call them, budding, growing flowers of wealth, happiness, well-being. And it's not that these flowers, because the thought came, oh well, that eventually flowers die. No, these flowers just keep blooming and blooming and blooming until they cover the world. These flowers are representative of your ideas, of your concepts, of your creativity, of everything, because they're all colors, and they're all in a nice even way. It's not like all sorts of shapes and sizes. It's just like the color. The color is magnificent. The color is what brings forward the creativity and the letting go and the knowing of I deserve, because I am worthy and I am loved. Remember, you're loved with beyond measure. You cannot measure how much the divine loves you. You cannot measure the potential that you have, because it is huge. And it's a matter of relaxing and letting go and knowing that you will have everything and more that you ever require. I just want to suggest that you make your requirements bigger, that you make your requirements larger, so that the coffers, as they say, can be filled to the brim of overflowing. I give thanks in the knowing, Catherine, that your financial rewards are absolutely not only magnificent, they have tremendous volume. And it's just a matter of knowing, yeah, this is for me. These are it's coming back. This is my welcoming of this, and to allow those to come on in and thoroughly enjoy it in every which way, shape, or form. And I give thanks in the knowing of this. I give thanks in knowing that there is light, love, and abundance for you. Totally. And so it is. Amen. Whew, I'll breathe that one. Now, another one on my list is a lady that's in, she was in hospital the other day when she called me. She's called me. I've known her for a long time. We share the same birthday, different year of birth, but the same birthday. Known her for a long time. And she's just had some small strokes. She's got a little bit of dementia as well. So she asked if I actually off the phones and asked for a prayer. And I said, yeah, I'll do one. And so I'm doing this because I know here we have a lot of people's energy also coming in on those prayers. Now, I know in the one form, this lady is Miss B, and her name is Barbara, actually. I know that as I speak my word for Barbara, I know that there is this feeling of being lost and unsure and uncertain of where, how, what, and where. And I know that there is healing happening on on different levels for different things, for sure. But I also know that there's peace here. There's a peace inside of letting go and not worrying about the outcomes or where, when, or how. But there comes a sense of peace. And in that peace, there's a letting go and an allowing of just being. And the being, whenever the transition comes, because for that we do not know just when. Here, I cannot see that. But when it comes, it'll be easy. It'll be a sense of letting go and knowing that a greater essence awaits. The walking through the door into love and light. The walking in and the knowing and letting go the struggle of trying to figure out what's going on and what's happening. Letting go that main naggingness that's happening, trying to make sense in the mind. Allowing the brain to just relax and work this magic of what it can do. So there is sense of being. I know that healing can take place on all different levels, many levels that we have no understanding of. And I know for Barbara right now, peace is the main thing. To be peaceful inside, to allow the ease, to allow the confidence, that to allow a sense of being taken care of, and realizing that she can trust. She can trust others to do what is right for her, to look after her, to care for her, and to be. And that she can just relax, be at peace, and know that all is well. I give thanks in the knowingness. I give thanks in the beingness, knowing that Barbara's well-being is totally 100% being taken care of on every level, every system, every part, and every way. And for this, I truly, truly say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Okay, Catherine just says, OMG, so we know that means. That feels so good. I am glad that you like that. I'll have to listen again and again. Yes, that's true. I was right there with you in the prayer, and I can see it all coming to life. Much great gratitude and love. Thank you so much. And based on what you had written to me as a reply from, I think it was last week, just let me know and we can get together. Yes. Okay, I have Miss G, who I have done this to because there's another friend of mine who has doing a battle with her house. And I call her Miss G. And when they listen to this later, they know who I'm referring to. But it's anybody who's doing a battle with a disease that wants to infiltrate you in so many ways. But I know as I speak my word here from Miss G, I know how loved she is in so many ways, in human ways and in the divine way. I know that the continued deep healing that is taking place as she lets go and just relaxes more and more and more. It's like it's seeping into, the healing is seeping into her house, into his cells. It's like the cells are just letting go of the old. And it's like, there's, and I think it's Macbeth, out, down, spot. It's like out, just be out. And just let me be at peace with my nurturing body as it comes into a whole new awareness and in a whole new understanding. So I had written down here continued deep healing, and I just feel now it's like a growing of it's almost like a radiation of heat and love and light and that which has been, what would you say, winning is not being winning anymore. It is like the healing is winning. The sense of being, the sense of freedom, the sense of love, but it's just surrendering to the love, surrendering to life, and allowing the beauty of which this lady is known for, is allowing the beauty that she's given to others to come in and fill the essence of her. And in filling that is to be able to accept that the divine work in action. I give thanks in knowing that the divine is work in action here, that there is continued deep healing and it's got such a freedom sense. And I give thanks for this. I give thanks in knowing that it's like it's something is turned into a new awareness in a new way. And I give thanks knowing that it is done. And so it is. I just say it. So it is as I let it go. It's all good. Thank you. I have another treatment here for another Miss B. That's what I'm going to call Miss B. Again, somebody I know. And this one is actually, I think, can apply to us in so many ways. But as I tune into the essence of knowing the one power and the one essence, and I speak my word primarily for Miss B, is to let go and accept what is. To let go of the fight of wanting what you want because you want it, and even though it does not seem to be coming. Sometimes we have to accept that it is what it is. And it's in the acceptance, 100% accept it, not 98%, not 97%, 100% in accepting that this is what the reality is. This is exactly what it is. Then we can let it go. Until then, we fight because we want it the way we want it. But sometimes we just have to accept this is the reality. And the interesting thing is that when we accept this is the reality, things change. It's the fight of having to accept what is, accepting that this is not going to change at this point in time, and that this is how it's going to be. And as we accept that 100%, I don't know how, because I'm not God, but I know that things shift and change. And I think through the acceptance, we begin to see clearly what can be done. Or we accept what is and we make a different decision. We make a different choice. Maybe it's a decision and a choice we haven't wanted to make, but now we can accept that and we can move forward in the direction of where we're heading and where we're going and what's taking place. And I give thanks for Miss B for this acceptance of what is. I give thanks in knowing alternatives are always there. And even if we don't like them, sometimes we just accept and we move through with them and we feel stronger and more aware, and life opens up to us in a way that we didn't think was going to happen. I give thanks in the knowing of this, and I give thanks for all that there is in being. Okay, I don't have any new people on the board. What I do have is one that I just wanted to do for anybody who is listening. And I've got all of us, because I think it's something I keep running into with my clients a lot. And it's something that's kind of I've been looking at a lot in the last week. So this is for anybody who listens. And the concept of this is to let go of our fears and accept our natural power and connection to the universal love force that is available to everyone if we let it in. So I know there is one power and one essence in all things. I know this power of love exists, but it also has to be invited in. It has to be accepted. The strange feeling that it brings when you first run into it, the feeling of being overwhelmed and maybe not good enough. And why is this here for me? What am I supposed to do with it? And that is to slowly breathe it in. And that's why very often we practice just breathing it in and breathing it in. So our system, our cells in our body, our subconscious mind gets so used to that feeling that it becomes a part of us and we know that it is there. This universal love that loves every single person that's on this planet. This planet invites you here. It welcomes you here. It wants to support you. It wants to nurture you. It wants you to become all that you can be, so that when you're ready to move on to other planes of existence, other planets in the universe, then you take this knowingness of yourself in that soul essence of you, and it's an easy transition to move on. I know that as we let go of the fears, as we let go and accept the natural power we have, the natural connection to the original love force, that all is available to us. And we just have to let it in and breathe it in and know our worth, to know we're worthy, to know that we deserve, by accepting this love that's offered to us. Many people find it in the trees when they go into the woods. Many people find it like in the sea or lakes, as where I live. There's many ways we can just feel it. When we built it up inside of it, it is always there. I always say it's but a breath away. I just have to breathe in and down, and it's there. And it's there to be. So get out of my head. I know this power is available to each and every person, and I truly want everyone to realize the potential they have in knowing that there is one power and one essence, and that you can utilize that. You can know how to talk to it and speak with it, and know that it is giving you what you want, not what it wants. It wants what you want. It wants to give you all that you can have, all that you can let in. It's all about letting in, because the more you love yourself, the more you'll let in, the more the miracles happen, the more everything works into play. I want to give thanks in the knowingness of this for any person that really wants to tune in and know the lovingness that is there. I want to give thanks for myself for knowing that I can be here on Monday nights to aid people and help people through the lovingness that is there. And as I connect in, know that it is absolutely wonderful in what comes. Oh, I just see that Kayla's also written something more here as I was wrapping this up, but I'll come back to that in just a second. I really want you to know, if you're listening to this, that it's real, that we can change vibration by acknowledging a force that's greater than ourselves. And I give thanks in knowing this. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. But Kayla has also written something else here. Please say prayers for Kathy, that the large sales, and that for Mr. C, that the bank tomorrow is open to supporting him and helping him with this. I find this really funny. I'm going from this massive prayer for the world, and now we're going down into our everyday thing, and that's true. So I'm just going to do a quick prayer, because I'm just coming to the end of this for sure. That when I speak my word for Kathy through Kayla, that the lodge that they're wanting to sell will sell, and they'll create the rewards. I don't see a problem in that. I really don't. I just think they just need to be patient. And I think it's already gone. It's just a matter of being patient. But Mr. C, I know that the allowingness of recognizing that sometimes we think that, well, what one thing is going to, give us what we want. And it may. But there's many ways in which it can come in. And the idea is to have the faith and trust to know that no matter what will happen, it will come in all different directions. I give thanks in knowing that what is required economically will be there, that it will take its place because Mr. C has decreed it so. And because he's decreed it so, so it is. So I give thanks to each one of you that has written in here, and those of you that listen, and thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your sharing. Makes my heart sing when I see that. It does. Feels like this energy I expend is coming back, and that's what often is about. I wish you well. I wish you well for this week. I look forward to speaking again on Wednesday for Norma Talks. And I want you well as we go forward. Blessings. And I'm just going to say over and out. Good night. Have a great week. Bye.